What the heck is going on, world? A mystery bug described by the victim as a scorpion spider-looking creature bites this man. 24 hours later, his arm looks like this. Look at that. Is that the creatures that are spoken about in Revelation? The demonic locust army? And the victim says it was a scorpion / spider looking creature that bit him. And this happened while he was taking out the trash, you guys. In Arizona. Check out that arm. Makes you wonder. I had a dream about demonic locusts. I wanted to show you another. Paul Bagley was talking about this. I got this on my Sign of the Times Roaring Lion group. Let's find it. Here we go. I wanted to bring that up, okay? About this creature. I want to talk about. I want to bring Paul. Paul's going to talk about it right now.
Are you serious?
Look at that.
Are you serious?
Look how it looks.
What is that?
And they said it looks. It has a scorpion tail, and it's black, but it has stripes on it. See that?
What? I mean, seriously, folks. I mean, seriously. Okay, now I don't know what it is. This somebody out there may know. It has 6 legs. It has 2 wings. The picture's a little distorted here. It was taken but with an iPhone and then sent to us, but that is, the tail on this thing is like a scorpion, and you see the black and white like rings. That's got that real white, very noticeable part on the end of the tail, and then right at the end of the tail is the black stinger-like thing. It's black and gray. It's a really weird looking creature. Now this thing was spotted in North Carolina. Lynn of North Carolina sent this to us. Of course, you know, we've already dealt with the guy in Arizona who said
and that's the one I'm talking about.
A creature that jumped on his arm. Said it looked like a spider and a scorpion combined with wings. This thing has it's 6 legs.
Well, I just wanted to bring that up, okay? And how that guy's arm, did you see how bad that was? How bad his arm was? And you know, I had a dream about the demonic locust. I actually had a very, very vivid, detailed dream about the demonic army of locusts that did this in Revelation, and that's the 5th trumpet. And I actually had a dream, and I remember, because in this dream I remember coming back on earth, and I was wearing a white robe, and my body was glorified, and I saw this seal that was on my head, and it was like all you could see it on my forehead. It was like on fire, where it was carved, whatever it was carved, it looked like it was in Hebrew. It was written in Hebrew. I could see the writing, but I didn't read Hebrew, so I didn't know what it meant, but I recognized that it was Hebrew from some of the Hebrew I've seen, you know, from the Bible, and from, you know, just reading stuff from Israel. And what I saw happen was these, I think they were insects in my dream. And what ends up happening is they were like some type of bug or something. That's what it looked like to me in the dream. Like, and they were all over the floor. But I did see them come from the sky. They came from it looked like a north sky. The sky looked like it was moving, but I didn't know it was just all in the sky. And they were flying. They had wings. I remember seeing them. They had wings. They were flying. It looked like the sky was moving, but the sky looked gray, you know. It was like the sun was blocked out. And I remember seeing the skies were gray, but these things were in the north sky, and the sky was moving. And it seemed like it got worse as when they got closer. The closer they got, next thing I knew, they were just flying down to the ground, attacking everybody, and they were just stinging everybody. Whoever didn't have a seal on their head, their forehead, they were, and I vividly remember that, because I had but I wasn't like human in this dream. It was like I was in a glorified body, and I saw the seal on my head, okay? But I was wearing a white robe, and it was almost like sometimes I was invisible. It's like when I wanted to be invisible. I don't know how to explain that. It was almost like some type of... Anyways, I just remember helping people who were being tormented on the ground by these scorpion, spider, whatever the heck they were. These creatures. Sorry, I had to get a drink. And it was so scary, you guys. I just remember helping these people. They were on the ground, and they were all messed up real bad. And they couldn't move. They were like stuck. And they were just, I remember them crying and everything because they were in so much pain. It was like these creatures were tormenting them. And they were like, it was disabilitating like them on the ground. So they couldn't even move. Just like when I was reading that article right now about that guy's arm. They said that there were people who have been bitten by that spider that they were talking about. They weren't able to move certain parts of their body that got afflicted by this, that got bit. And that the thing was, when I was walking around helping people who got bit that didn't have a seal, and believe me, you want to have a seal if you get stuck here, okay? These creatures were going nuts on this person and whoever I saw in my dream. All I know is when I went there, the bugs followed me, but they didn't come near me. They were afraid of me. And when I would walk towards them, they would walk away. If I would walk, towards whatever, they would like follow me from behind. But they never came close. Like, you know what I mean? They never came close. They were always just behind me and just kind of cruising around watching. But like as soon as I stopped, I left the people I was helping, they would go back to those people that I was helping that didn't have a seal and attack them more. And it was like all the people in the dream were telling me not to leave because they were afraid, because as soon as I left, then the creatures would come and start attacking them. And it was like I was going around and I was preaching the gospel to them at that point, and it was like really easy because they didn't want to be tormented by these creatures, so they would listen to me. And because they realized that I wasn't being attacked, or people who believed in God weren't being attacked. So it was really easy to gospel to those people. And it was like, it was just up to them basically if they were going to believe it or not and love God. I just know that as soon as I left, and the people would beg me to stay, they would beg me to stay because they knew when I would leave, then the creatures would be on them. And this is what you're going to be looking forward to during the fifth trumpet, okay? These demonic, supernatural locusts that don't eat crops like normal locusts, but they're evil, demonic locusts that are ruled by an evil angel in the bottomless pit, okay? That's what this is all about, okay? And all hell breaks loose. And that's in Revelations 9, 1 through 21. And I'm going to read that real quick. So you don't want to be left behind. These creatures were not fun, you guys. It says, how many of you have had a bad day? I want you to stop and think of the worst day you've ever had. Is that the day registered in your mind? Or the day of the demonic locust is going to be your worst day. I can guarantee you, because when I heard those people crying, they were not having fun, okay? So I want to talk about the 7-year tribulation will be the worst period of humans' history. And it'll literally be hell on earth for whoever gets stuck here, okay? The Bible presents several purposes for the tribulation. For a purpose, I will share a couple. And the first tribulation will be demonstrate God's righteousness and wrath as he judges a wicked world. And the second tribulation will convince many Jewish people scattered throughout the world that Jesus is Christ. And I just pray that that really does happen. So I'm going to look at Revelation 9, chapter 9, and that's going to be 1 through 21 verses, okay? So Satan wants to harm mankind, and that's 9, 1 through 11. In 9:1, John writes, "Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star from heaven which had fallen to the earth, and the key of the bottomless pit was given to him, and the star that had fallen or descended from heaven is an angel." Well, this star is referred to in 9:1, okay? And some think that this angel is Satan, but it is unlikely that God would entrust the key of the bottomless pit to Satan or to any fallen angel. Apparently, the Lord Jesus Christ gave one of his angels the key, since we are told in Revelation 1:18 that Jesus has the keys to the death and Hades. With the key, the angels unlock the bottomless pit. So the bottomless pit is going to be the shaft of abyss, is the abode of Satan, which is Revelation 9:11 and Revelation 20:1 through 3, and the beast, Revelation 11:7 and Revelation 17:8, and some demons, like in Luke 8:31, 2 Peter 2:4, and Jude 6. It's evident that that the prison, not their final abode, which is the lake of fire. Okay, it is worthy note that the section is framed with the beams of the bottomless pit as abyss. So what I saw, a lot of this is from my dream when I'm talking about some of this, like in 9:2, which is Revelation, God angel opens the bottomless pit and smoke went up out of the pit. In the Revelation, smoke usually relates to judgment, doom, and torment. And this confirms by the rest of the verse that states the smoke went up like the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by the smoke of the pit. And I did see that, you guys. I saw that. I saw that the skies were dark gray, and it did look like smoke. Okay, it did. So that's totally true, like in my dream. It looked like a lot of ash. I saw ash, raining ash too. It could have been, that's how it looked to me. It could have been the volcano going on. That's what I always thought. It was the Yellowstone that went off. And then it was like a kind of like a, also like new North Korea, because I had a dream about them nuking us. So it could have been like both going on at the same time, because all these volcanoes are going off. What did they say? Like 42 volcanoes are going off. I mean, there's a lot. Then it says, John continues his vision in 9:3 and says, "Then out of the smoke came locusts upon the earth, and power was given them as the scorpions of the earth have power." And it's certain that these demons that assume some of the characteristics of these locusts ascend from the abyss, which elsewhere in the Bible, the abode of the demons. So, I mean, you guys, and it says 9:1, the demons were told not to hurt the grass of the earth, nor any green things, nor any tree, but only the men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads. And I saw that in my dream, you guys. Locusts are greatly feared because they can strip a country of every green thing, leaving man and beast alike to die from starvation. Because that's what these things, they come and strip everything. These insects move in giant columns, stripping away everything that is green. The plague of locusts that God sent against the Pharaoh of Egypt brought Pharaoh to his knees temporarily, but in this case, there is a total prohibition against the destruction of any plant life, which is natural food of the locusts. Instead, these locusts are given power to harm those who didn't have a seal of God on their forehead, and those who were not a part of the 144,000. And that's in Revelation 7:2. It's reasonable to assume that all those who have become believers during the tribulation will be protected. Okay? And they're not allowed. It says like this: we're not permitted to kill anybody, but to torment them for 5 months. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it stings a man. And you guys, I heard that when they were stinging them, they were screaming and yelling. They were in a lot of pain. And it said in 9:6, John also records an awful sentence. And in those days, men will seek death and will not find it. And they will long to die, and the death flees from them. Because of the influence of these scorpion-like locust demons, the earth inhabitants will reach their emotional, physical, and spiritual limit. Men and women alike will try to die, but will not be able to. Like Job, they will long for death and dig for it more than a hidden treasure, and that's in Job 3:21. But it will elude them. They will cripple and injure themselves, but somehow will be unable to finish the job. And yes, as the appearance of the locusts were like horses prepared for battle, and it said these creatures had mobility. They were invading creatures, and they came like cavalry. And that's so true, like in my dream, because I told you it was up in the north sky, and they were like filled the whole sky, and they just came down. I just remember descended down on everybody, and like it was like a cavalry, just like that. But it said on their heads appeared to be crowns like gold. Their crowns probably symbolized their victory over the objects of their oppression. And their faces were like faces of men, and this may imply intelligence, okay? It could mean that, you know. They had hair like the hair of women. This may infer long, loose hair, giving the impression of ferocious beings. The opposite interpretation might be true as well, that they are such striking beauty and charisma that few can reject their false teachings. Many people will buy their propaganda. I don't know. Their teeth will like the teeth of lions, and this is a symbol of something frightening, those who surrender by false teaching. I don't know. What I saw were creatures that were on the ground, okay, and they were like creatures, okay. I didn't see like a military army or anything. Because I always thought that in the past, before I even had this dream, that it was some type of military that did this. But no, after that dream, no way. That, to me, the dream was like some type of insect, some kind of creature. Okay, I remember seeing them on the ground. They say that the king over them is the angel of the abyss, and his name in Hebrew is Abaddon. And in the Greek, he has the name Apollyon. Which, remember Apollo, the mythology god? Well, all these mythology gods are demons, you guys, okay? Or they're fallen angels. Proverbs 30:27 tells us that locusts have no king. And again, this further proves that these are not literal locusts, that they are demons that are in submission to a king, the angel of the abyss, who is called Abaddon or Apollyon, both meaning destruction, and this angel is not Satan, as many believe. Nowhere in Scripture is Satan referred to by either of these names. More importantly, this angel is confined to be abyss until he is released by the star angel, while Satan and his angels are roaming free in the heavenlies. Okay? So I just wanted to talk about that, because these creatures are no joke. And I just wanted to bring that out. You know, I don't know if those are the creatures I was talking about in the beginning of this video, is it? But I'm just telling you that there was creatures that I saw in my dream, and they were all over the floor, and they were following people. And if you had a seal on your head, they would just follow you. They wouldn't attack you. But if you didn't have a seal on your forehead, then they would be attacking you hard, you guys. Oh, they were horrible. But you know what? In the end, the Lord, we get saved, okay? He comes and saves us. So I don't worry about it. I love Jesus so much, and you know how the story ends. So God bless you guys. Just wanted to give you some info. Bye-bye.